When we look into the night sky, we are seeing the results of 13.8 billion years of cosmic expansion. Our own world formed much later, coalescing from gas and dust roughly 4.54 billion years ago. These figures form the backbone of modern astrophysics and geology, verified by the data and peer-reviewed work of 99.9% of the global scientific community. But the data looks different when we poll the public. In the United States, roughly 4 in 10 adults believe that humans were created in their present form within the last 10,000 years. This is the domain of young Earth creationism, a highly organized movement with its own parallel research institutes, peer-reviewed journals, and multi-million-dollar museums. This movement maintains a literal 6,000-year timeline, despite the reach of modern science. To see how this literalist view survived the 20th century, we have to look back at the moment the Earth first started to look old. In the 17th century, scholars used the genealogies in the Book of Genesis to calculate the age of the world. The resulting Usher chronology famously placed the moment of creation in the year 4004 BC. That consensus held until scientists mapped the Earth's surface, discovering the crust was composed of distinct stacked rock formations. They realized slow processes, like river erosion and volcanic uplift, required millions of years to build the landscapes we see today. They called this deep time. Sir Charles Lyell became the most prominent advocate for this shift. His work established that the same natural laws shaping the world today have operated since the beginning, meaning the Earth had to be ancient. Many mainstream religious thinkers adjusted their views, turning toward non-literal or metaphorical readings of the Genesis creation account to accommodate these geological findings. By the 1830s, the scientific community had effectively moved on from the 6,000-year timeline. However, this departure left a divide in public belief that would eventually lead to a new kind of ideological resistance. That resistance surfaced in the early 20th century. Fundamentalist movements began a public campaign to block the teaching of evolution and mainstream geology in schools. Advocates like George McCready Price and Henry Morris eventually adopted the language of the Academy, creating a framework they called creation science to fight for a biblical timeline. Their central argument is flood geology, the idea that the world's geological features were formed during the single year of Noah's flood, rather than over millions of years of gradual change. Under this model, the massive sedimentary layers found in the Earth's crust were buried simultaneously. Creationists argue the floodwaters aggressively sorted this debris into the distinct stacks we see in this chart. They integrate the rest of natural history into this compressed window, claiming dinosaurs lived alongside humans before the flood, and that all linguistic diversity began at the Tower of Babel. This methodology involves remapping every physical discovery, from bones to rock layers, to fit a predetermined scriptural timeline. It's an active process of reinterpreting the natural world. Outside of this framework, every independent method used to measure the history of our world confirms a much deeper timeline. Radiometric dating tracks the steady decay of isotopes over billions of years. Ice cores recovered from the poles contain 800,000 years of seasonal layers. Even the night sky shows us light from galaxies that has been traveling for over 13 billion years. While academia universally rejects the young Earth model, it remains a powerful cultural force, influencing educational policy and political discourse across the United States. Maintaining a 6,000-year-old timeline requires the rejection of the speed of light, the known decay rates of isotopes, and the geological seafloor history. It puts the adherent at odds with the foundational laws of physics and chemistry. Ultimately, young Earth creationism is a battle over the nature of evidence itself, an ongoing attempt by a deeply entrenched movement to hold the line against the vast physical scale of our reality.